Hello folks, this is Tom Martin. This is my lottery strategy game, Decoding the Powerball guessing game. I'm picking my numbers for the drawing on April 17th, 2023. If you'd like to support my game Decoding the Powerball, then please go to my Patreon page at www.patreon.com/Decoding the Powerball. Thank you, and please subscribe. Okay, so if you've never seen my videos before, the object of my game is for you to correctly eliminate groups of numbers. There are 69 white ball numbers in the Powerball lottery. Only 5 numbers can come up as winners, so that means 64 numbers can't come up at all. So for me, I think it should be easier to pick the numbers that won't be coming up than the 5 that actually do. Okay, so with this video, I invite you to grab some paper and play along. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call the game card. This is where I try to eliminate the numbers and try to get it down to the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so you can see I have 5 colors on my game card. They are red, orange, green, blue, and purple. These represent the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so I'm going to go to the Powerball homepage, find out what those 5 white numbers were. And they were the 1, 33, 34, 56, and 59. The Powerball number was the 18, but right now I'm only concerned about these 5 white ball numbers. Okay, so you can see I put those numbers at the top of this list. Again, it was the 1, 33, 34, 56, and 59. And now I'm going to put some colors to it like I did here in the past. Okay, so you can see this game card is for April 15th, so I need to update it to the 17th. But before I do, I need these colors for these numbers. Okay, so the 1 was green, the 33 was green, the 34 was purple, the 56 was purple, and the 59 was red. Okay, so the 133 was both green, 34, 56 were both purple, and the 59 was red. Okay, so 3 out of the 5 colors came up, and now I'm going to make this 237 color code drawings I kept track of so far. And now a 3 color combination has now come up 117 times. Okay, so I want you to focus on this 3 color combination. Okay, you can see that this comes up the most. Okay, and what that means to me is that 2 colors are not coming up the most. And that's what I want to concentrate on here. Okay, so I want to eliminate numbers off of my game card. Okay, so now I'm going to update my game card. So I'm going to get rid of all these colors and start from scratch. Okay, so my color code is right here. Here's the red numbers, the orange, green, blue, and whatever's left over is purple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer these 15 numbers in the red area over to the game card as red numbers. Okay, so I'm going to start with the 1, 33, 34, 56, and 59. The next line down is the 9, the 36, 41, 44, and 59. You can see that's already taken. So the next line down is the 9, which is taken, so the 10. The 36 is taken, so the 46 and 52. So I'm gonna make these red, and now I'm gonna count how many red numbers I have on my game card. So over here you can see that there's 5, 7, 10, and 2 more are 12. So now I'm going to move on to the orange area. We're going to transfer these 20 orange numbers over as orange numbers. Okay, so I'll start with the 11, the 22, the 24, 51, and 60. The next line down is the 3, 5, 9, which is taken, so the 42, and 52, which is taken. The next line down is the 16, the 30, 31, 54, and 68. And the last line is the 11, which is taken, so the 19, the 21, 29, and 52, which is taken. Okay, so I'll see how many I have on my game card. So over here I can see that 4 and 3 are 7, 3 more are 10, 1's 11, 1's 12, and 4 are 16. Okay, so now I'd move on to the green area, then the blue and whatever's left over. But you can see I already did this game card, so I'm just going to copy and paste just to speed things up a little bit. I guess not. Okay, so finally, there it is. Okay, so again, I had 12 red numbers, 16 orange, turned out to be 19 green, 10 blue, and 12 purple numbers. Okay, so why is this important? Okay, the reason why is because the way I set up my color code like this gives me double-digit numbers per color. And it's like this for every drawing, okay? Well, just about every drawing, 99% of drawings. Sometimes these blue and purple numbers go into 9s or 8s, but it's very, very, very rare, okay? So I look at it as I found a consistency within the lottery, okay? So when I think of the lottery, I think of nothing but chaos. And to find any kind of consistency in that, I think is a big first step to conquering this lottery thing, okay? So, again, when you have consistency, then things can get predictable. Okay, and I'm going to try to correctly predict what color group will not be coming up. Okay, so you can see that all 5 colors do come up. It's come up 17 times out of 237 drawings. So it comes up, but it's very rare. Okay, so again, I'm going to try to predict what color group will not be coming up. And the first step I'm going to do is try to correctly guess what the majority of the numbers will be. Will they be odd or even? Okay, so taking a look at this, I'm going to say that this is going to be evens. Okay, I think more even numbers are going to come up than odd. Okay, so I'm going to look at each color, and I want to get rid of the color that has the most odd numbers to it. Okay, so let's start off with the red. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's it. 5 out of 12. That's not great. Okay. So then the orange, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of 16, that's even. Okay, and then green, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of 19. That's not great. And then the blue, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 10. Okay. And then the purple, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 out of 12. Okay, so 8 out of 10 for the blue. I'm going to go with the blue. So I'm going to eliminate the blue numbers off of my game card. And hopefully these numbers do not come up. Okay, so when I block out numbers like this means I'm not even going to consider these numbers when I'm picking what I think would be the 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so if I'm correct with my guess here and no blue numbers come up, then I just reduce the odds for myself, giving myself, better odds to win some kind of prize in the Powerball lottery. Okay, so I'm moving on to the next strategy. This is called the individual numbers. Okay, so maybe you heard the saying divide and conquer. Okay, so this is what I'm going to try to do. So with this, you can see that the winning Powerball numbers are right here, the 133, 34, 56, 59. So how this works is I have all the numbers at the top. Okay. So basically what I did is I took all 69 numbers and I divided it into 7 different groups. Okay, so here's group number 1. It holds the numbers of 1 through 9. Of course, this is the only group with 9 numbers where the other 6 have 10 numbers to it for 69 numbers. Okay, so how this works is here's the 1. And as I follow this over, here's the 1 right here. And I'm going to put this on the same line. I'm going to make this square green because the 1 is green. Okay, so this is how the color code goes hand in hand with this. Okay, so let me point out the 20s here for a second. Okay, so you can see these 3 red dots here. This is what I want to point out. Okay, so as I was doing my videos, I noticed a red mark here, and I was going through saying, hey, I don't see a red mark. I think one is due to come up. And finally it did with the 23. Okay, so this is how I use this. If I don't see a color that's come up in a while, I'm going to look on my game card in the 20 numbers and say, hey, is a red number in there? And if there is, well, maybe it will be coming up. Okay, so what I did here is I divided this into 5 drawings, this big square. Okay, and I did that so it's easier to count. And what I mean by that is here's a red square, and you know, how long has it been since one has come up? So it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Finally, here's 33, and 2 more is 35. Okay, so when it gets to that 30 level of color not coming up, 30 drawings in a row, then that really piques my interest there. Okay, so what I like to do now is reduce this down so you can see the whole card. We'll take a look at this one by one, and we'll see what color hasn't come up in a while. Okay, so I'm looking at groups 1 through 9 here, or the group 1 through 9, and I see red and orange is way down here. So it's been 5, 10, 15, 20, just about 25 drawings. Okay, so let's see if there's an orange number on the game card. Okay, so I got the 3 and the 5 within the numbers of 1 through 9. Okay, so maybe one of these 3s, maybe the 3 or the 5 might be coming up, or maybe even both. Okay. Okay, so 10 through 19, I see red, orange, green, blue. I don't see any purple. There's the purple. So all 5 colors are pretty close to the top, so that's really no big help. Okay, so moving on to the 20s. I see red, orange, green, blue, purple. I see all 5 colors. In the 30s, I see red, orange, green, blue, purple. They're all right there. The 40s, red, orange, blue, purple. I don't see any green. So finally there's a green. It's been 5, 10, 15, 20, going on 22 drawings or so. So let's see what we have for the 40s. I got the 43 and the 47 that are both green. Okay, so maybe one of those 2 numbers will be coming up as well. Okay, so I got the 50s. So I see red, orange. I don't see any green. That's not too far. So that's still no big help. And then the 60s. I see red, orange, green, blue, purple. I don't see any red. So here's the red. It's been 5, 10, 15. You know, that's not too exciting either. But let's take a look. Okay, I don't have any 60s in the red anyways. Okay, so that's how I use my individual numbers here. But again, the overall strategy is to try to correctly guess what group will not be coming up. Okay, so this 3 right here, this tells me that I hit 3 out of the 7 groups. Okay, so that means 4 of these groups did not come up in the last drawing. Okay, so I'm going to try to correctly guess which one of these won't be coming up, and I'm going to go with the 50s. And the reason why is because the 50 number has come up in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drawings in a row. And when that happens, you know, it's like a very high percentage that it's not going to go 8 in a row. Okay. Can it go 8 in a row? Absolutely it can. Okay. This is where the betting comes in. Okay. So I'm going to buy a Powerball ticket with the Power Play, which costs $3. So basically I'm saying I'm betting my $3 that none of these 50 numbers will come up in this drawing. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate the 50 numbers off of the game card. So I'll get rid of the 50, 51, 52, 54, 56, 57, 58, and 59. And hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so moving on. Again, divide and conquer. I'm moving on to another strategy, which I call the groups. Okay, this I call group 4. I also have group 6, group 8, and group 10. So I call this group 4 because I divided the 69 numbers into 4 different color groups. Okay, so I'm going to show you a visual on this. Okay, so the 1 was red. So I'm going to put a 1 here. This represents that 1. Okay, and then the 33, 34, both in blue. And then the 56 and 59 are both in green. So there was no winning Powerball numbers in the orange area. Okay, so if I could have correctly guessed that, I could have eliminated all those orange numbers on my game card and gave myself a much better chance of, again, winning some kind of prize with the Powerball lottery. Okay, so moving on. So this hit 3 out of the 4 groups. And the majority of the numbers were over here to the left side. So I'm going to color this 3 red. Okay, so the reason why I do that is because when I see something like this where it's all green, well, I look at it like flipping a quarter. You know, how many times can it come up heads before it comes up tails? You know, it's the same thing here. It's either red or green. So when I see a bunch of green, I say, hey, when's it going to start turning red? Okay, and vice versa here. Okay, so looking at this, I think that this is going to be a green number. So I think the majority of the numbers will be on this side. Okay, so it's very hard to pick a 0. Certainly what I want to do is correctly pick where the 0 is going to pop up. But it's very hard when there's 4 colors and 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so I look at this and I say, okay, what is the strength of this? Okay, and the strength is that a triple hit comes up a lot. Okay, so this is why I keep track of every 3 drawings, is so I could add a color to these at 3. Okay, and that gives me an advantage. Okay, so I'm looking at this and saying, okay, I have 2 opportunities here, the red or the green. There's usually a triple hit. I mean, here's a couple zeros down here, but as you can see, for the most part, there's usually a triple hit. Okay, so is it going to be the red or is it going to be the green? Or is it going to be both? I'm kind of leaning towards the red. So I think there's going to be at least one number within this red area here that's going to come up. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to what I call Powerball number 2. Okay, so here I'm going to give you a visual as well. Okay, so again, this is why I keep track of every 3 drawings like this, so I could offset these things. Okay, so I'll explain that here. So again, the winning number was the 1. And then was the 33, 34. And then the 56 and the 59. Okay, so I had 1 in the red area. That was the 1. And then I had 3 in the blue. 33, 34, 56. And then I had 1 in the green, the 59. Okay, so here's that 0 again. This is what I'm looking for. If I could have correctly guessed that none of these orange numbers are going to come up, that would have been pretty big for me. Okay, so this hit 3 out of the 4 color groups. The majority of the numbers are over here to the left side, so I'm going to make this 3 red. Okay, so when I have all 3 of these filled up, now I'm going to put colors to it. Here I'm going to put a light red, saying that the red won out the majority. Then here, you can see I'm putting triple hits, okay? I get a lesser red, and then this one actually gets a blue mark. Okay, so I keep track of the blue marks. Here's a blue mark that popped up. This is kind of hit or miss, kind of like a 50-50 thing. Sometimes there's a blue mark, and other times there's not. Okay, so there was 2 triple hits, and now this is all updated. Okay, so I'm just going to. Then here the majority was green. Okay, so looking at this, you can see it's green, red, red, green, red, green. I think that this next 5 is going to be the majority of green. Okay, so I think the majority of the numbers will be coming over here for the next 15 drawings. Okay, so now I'm moving on to Powerball number 3. Okay, so I'm going to give you a visual here as well. Okay, so the 1 came up, that's yellow. And the 59, so there's 2 yellows. And then the 33 was orange. and the 34, 56 were both blue. Okay, so there's no winning Powerball numbers in the red area, the green, or the purple. It hit 3 out of the 6 groups, and the majority of the numbers were over here to the left side, so I'm going to keep this 3 red. Okay, so again, this is why I have these things offset like this. Here with Powerball number 3, I have at least one number at the top, which is, you know, a slight advantage. Okay, with Powerball number 2, I have no numbers at the top, which is harder to predict. And then this Powerball number 1, I happen to have 2 numbers at the top, which gives me a big advantage, because now I can use these tools of how many blue marks are going to be, what's it going to be to the left or right, is it going to be a triple hit, is it not? Okay, so these are the tools that I gave myself. And again, this is why I have this offset, so I could have 2 numbers here, no numbers here, 1 number here, and for every drawing, I have at least one of these with 2 numbers at the top. Okay, so I'm going to go through here, and I have 7 of these option cards. And I'm just going to go through and pick where I think the 0 is going to be. Okay, so sometimes I'll just like to start from the bottom and see what this thing has done. Okay, so I don't really like this one, so I'm going to move on. And this is why I gave myself so many option cards here. Okay, I got 7 option cards here with group 4, 7 with group 6, 9 with group 8, and 3 with group 10. And the reason why I gave myself so many is so I could cherry pick through these things and give myself the best chance here. Okay, so one thing that I see over here, if a 0 comes up here, I'm going to be making it the same color as this, a lighter red. And you can see that here's a single, another single, 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 and then finally it quadruples up here. Okay, so I'm thinking that this is going to be a light red, and again, in order for it to be light red, it has to have a 0 right here. Okay, so I'm going to go with that. So I'm going to mark this blue. And when I mark this blue, it means that when I go to update this thing, I could look at it and say, hey, I got this correct. None of these numbers came up, or one of them came up and burned me, right? So I'm going to get rid of all these blue numbers off of my game card. Okay, so I'll get rid of all these. And hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so moving on. Now again, I have 7 of these option cards. I got 4 options per option card, so 4 times 7 is 28 options total. And I feel if I could just get one of these correct out of 28, then I'll be happy. You know, what I'm trying to say is I don't like to pick more than 1. But if I see something that, you know, just really sticks out to me, then I'll probably go for it. Okay, so I'm just checking these out real quick here. I'm almost done with this group 4. Again, group 4 is the hardest, but it eliminates most of, you know, a lot more numbers than group 10. Okay, so I could get rid of 17 numbers through my group 4, and I could get rid of 7 numbers with my group 10. Okay, so there's the big difference. Okay, I really don't see anything here as well, so I'm moving on. See what this one brings me. Okay, so when I look at this, usually I go right for the side right here, and I look at it and say, well, I see a lot more green than red. So I'm thinking that this number is going to be a red number, which means I believe the majority of the numbers will be over here. Okay, and I'm certainly like this red one to be a triple hit like this. So I think that one of these red numbers will be coming up. Okay, so I got the 21, 22, 29, 30. the 59, 60, 68, 69, because I know that all these numbers are gone. And I have 7 left here. Okay, so I'm just going to keep an eye on that. Okay, so I'm moving on. Okay, so one thing I noticed, I'm looking at these dark red bands. They haven't come up very often. I got one here, and I have the opportunity for one here. And I think that's going to happen. I think the majority of the numbers will be on this side. Okay, but I'm moving on. I don't really see anything. Again, I see a lot more green than red. I'm thinking that this is going to be a red number. Okay, but that's it for me. So I do have an overview of all my groups here. Okay, so in the last drawing, in the red area, all 7 option cards had a winning Powerball number in the red area, as well as the green. Okay, so there was 2 zeros in the blue area and 2 in the orange for 4 zeros total. Okay, so moving on to group 6. Okay, so what's the advantage here? I got 6 color groups and there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. So I know that one of these color groups cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so which one is it going to be? Okay, so with this one, another advantage that I added here is the triple hit and the 000. Okay, a 000 does come up a lot, and I have a green and a yellow. So looking at this, I think that this is going to be a red number, so I believe the majority of the numbers will be over here. And I see this 000 is here in the green, but this one is a little bit lower for the yellow. So I'm thinking about going with the yellow. I think the 000 will be right here. So I'm going to get rid of the yellow numbers off of my game card. Okay, so I'll start with the 12, 13, 19, 20. So I'll get rid of the 12, 19, and 20. And then I'll get rid of the 14, 15, 23, 24. And hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so I'm moving on. Okay, so I have 7 of these option cards as well, so check them out. First thing that kind of catches my eye is this red over here, on how much red I see. Things been really hot, so I'm thinking that the 000 might be over here. Okay, so a triple hit comes up a lot too, and I'm kind of looking at this blue one right here. Okay, so I see all these odd numbers. Goes up to 23, so it's the 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 17, 21. So I'll, just kind of keep an eye on those. Okay, so again, I really don't see anything here, so I'm going to move on. Again, I have one 000 opportunity here in the blue. You can see it's been a long time since it's had a triple opportunity, 000 come up. So I'm going to go with this blue. And I'm going to get rid of the 5 through the 7 and 17, 18, 16, 17, 26. So I'll get rid of the 5, 6, 7, 16, 17, and 26. And I believe the 22 and the 30 as well. Okay, and then the 39, 40, 48, 49. So I'll get rid of that 48, and hopefully that number does not come up. Okay, so you can see I'm getting down here, so hopefully I made the correct picks. Okay, and if I did, then none of these blocked out numbers will come up, and the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers still have to be left here on my game card as a highlighted number. Okay, so I'm moving on. Okay, so I got red and blue for a 000. Again, the 000 on this blue is really low. I'm thinking that it's due to come back up. And I'm going to go for it. Okay, so I'll get rid of the 2, 3, 12. So I'll get rid of the 3. The 38, 47, and then the 57 to the 68. So I'll get rid of the 66, 67, and 68. And hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so moving on. Okay, it's just checking something out here. Okay, so I'm ready to keep going here. Okay, so I got a 000 opportunity here in the red. You can see that 000 hasn't come up in a while. It's pretty low here on the red side as well. I'm thinking it's going to be the red, so I'm going to go for it. Okay, so I'll get rid of the 3, 7. I think those numbers are gone anyways. The 21, 27, 30. So I'll get rid of the 21, 27. And then I'll get rid of the 31, 32. Pretty sure I saw the 42. And the 40 and the 67 are both gone. Okay, so again, I'm getting down there. Moving on to number 6 out of 7. Okay, so I noticed there's no 000 opportunities here. I'm looking at this. I think this is going to be a red number, so I think the majority will be over here. I'm thinking it's probably going to be this red. So I got the 3, 4, 7, 23, 24, 33. So I got the 4 and the 33. And the 41. Okay, so moving on. I do have 2 000 opportunities here. I'm looking at this. All I see is a bunch of red. I think that this is going to be a green number, which means I believe the majority will be on this side. I'm sorry, be on the right side. Green is right, red is left. So I'm thinking this blue again. Gonna go for it. That's gonna get rid of that 4. The 4, 11, 18. Okay, so the 2030 is gone, so it's the 43, 51, 60. So I'll get rid of the 43 and the 60. Okay, so I got 4, 8, 9, 10, 11 numbers left. Okay, so the reason why I believe in this game is because one time, a couple years ago now, I reduced the numbers down to 10 numbers, and the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers landed within those 10 numbers. Okay, so if you could visualize that, here's 11 numbers, and if you could visualize the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers still here. Well, I looked at it. I only got 2 numbers correct that day, but I looked at it and said, wow, I gave myself a much better chance of winning a really good prize. So again, that's why I believe in this. So I'm moving on. So I'm all done with my group 6, so I'm going to move on to group 8. Where again, I know that 3 of these color groups cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so a 000 comes up a lot. And I have a blue, orange, and pink. And what happens a lot with these 000s, they double up. Like right here. Or right here. Or right here. Okay, so I'm looking at this. Saying this okay, well, before I jump to any snap decisions here, I'm looking at this. I see a lot of red. I'm thinking that this is going to be green. So I'm thinking that I like the pink. Okay, so the 61 to the 69. I'll get rid of the 69, and hopefully that number does not come up. Okay, so moving on. Take a look at my game card again one more time. Okay, so I'm moving on. Okay, so for a 000 opportunity, I get the purple, yellow, and turquoise. Here's the last time a dark red stripe came up. I'm thinking that that's going to happen again. I think this is going to be red. I think the majority of the numbers will be over here. Okay, so I'm not really sure about this one. I think I'm going to just move on and see what number 4 looks like. Okay, I'm thinking that this is going to be a red number, so I think the majority will be on this side. I do have a 000 opportunity here. This is the only one in yellow. It usually comes up. I think I'm going to go with this yellow. I'll get rid of the 2, 4, 10, 12. So I'll get rid of the 10. And that's it. Okay, so hopefully that 10 does not come up. Okay, so moving on. The only 000 I got here, again, is the blue. Usually one comes up. I think I'll go for this one. I'll get rid of the 28, 29. And hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so with this one, I have a couple 000 opportunities, the red and the orange. I see a lot of red here, so I'm thinking that this is going to be a green number, which means I believe the majority of the numbers will be over here. Thinking maybe this pink. $40, $48, $58, $66. I think all those numbers are gone. Yep. Okay, so I'm moving on. Okay, so I got the red, green, and purple for 000. I'm looking at the red. I see that, it did double up once, but a long time ago. Hopefully it's due to happen again. I'm going to go with this one. So it's the 2, 12, 20, 29. And that's it. Okay, so there's nothing there. So let's see how many more I got. So I got 1, 3, 6, 7. I need to eliminate 2 more numbers. Okay, so looking at here, I got the green for a 000 opportunity. You can see that hasn't come up in 3 drawings. Hopefully it's due to happen again here, so I'm going to go with this green. Get rid of the 18 to the 22 and the 48 to the 51. And there's no numbers there. Okay, so moving on. My last option card for my 8 group. Again, for a 000, I got the green, yellow, and turquoise. I have a feeling that this is going to be a green number, so I think the majority will be over here. So I think I'm liking this green to have the 000. And there's no numbers there. Okay, so that's it for my 8 groups. So I'm moving on to group 10. Okay, so here a 000 comes up a lot. So I got a green, yellow, pink. And I think that this is going to be a green number, so I think the majority will be on this side. Okay, so I really don't see anything here, so I'm moving on. Again, a 000 comes up a lot. I got the red, blue, and that's it. I do think that this will be a green number. Okay, so I don't see anything here either, so I'm moving on. Here I got the red, blue, orange, turquoise, brown. Okay, so I got a bunch of them. This red, the last 000 is way down here. I kind of like this red. So I'll get rid of the 16, 26, 31. Okay, so they're all gone. So now I'm going to move on. Oh, excuse me about that. Coughing. Okay, so now I like to look at the 03s for the overview. And I like to see if one hasn't come up in a while. You can see that just about all of them are come up pretty recently. So it's really no big help. So I'm going to move on to the next one that I have. And that's Powerball number 3, where I have at least one number at the top. Okay, so I'm going to go right to the group 10s. And again, I'm looking for a 000 opportunity. So I got the blue, orange, green, purple, yellow, and brown. I'm thinking that this is going to be a red number, so I'm kind of liking this brown. We'll see what numbers those are. And I think there's only the one here, so there's no numbers to get rid of. Okay, so here this turquoise has never doubled up like over here where it tripled up. I think the 0 will be right here, so I'm going to get rid of this one. 14, 23, 31. All gone. Okay, so moving on. Okay, kind of liking this light blue. Okay, so I don't see any numbers there, so I'm moving on. Looking for the overview. what I'm looking at is this yellow. You can see that a couple of 03s have come up, but not recently. I'm thinking that this is going to be a 03 as well. Okay, so there's no numbers here in the yellow. Again, no numbers in the yellow. 6, 16, 26. Nope. Okay, so moving on to 10B. Really don't see anything, so I'm moving on. Okay, so over here in the red, I think there's going to be a hit. So the 25 and the 34. Okay, so I kind of like these two numbers right here. Okay, so I'm moving on. Kind of liking this pink right here to have another 0 to it, because the triple 0 is way down here. Actually, I think this is going to be a red number. But I'm kind of liking this purple right here. And I'm going to go with this purple. I'll get rid of that 9. And hopefully that 9 does not come up. Okay, so I need to get rid of one more. Kind of liking this light blue to have a hit as well. There's that 25. And the 33. Okay, but this purple hasn't had a triple 0 in a long time. I'll get rid of the 8, 16, 32. I think I'll go with this one, and I'll get rid of the 8. Okay, so that would bring me down to 5 numbers. Okay, so I'm going to go with the 1, the 25, 33, 34, and the 41. So I know the 33 and 34 just came up, but hopefully it's due to come right back up again. Okay, so let's pick out a Powerball number. Okay, so the last Powerball number was the 18, so I need to update this. Okay, so there's 26 red ball numbers in the Powerball lottery. Okay, so over here on the left side, I just divided the numbers into 2. So if you see a blue number, that's low, 1 to 13. If you see a red number, that's high, 14 to 26. Okay, so here on this right side, I just divided the numbers into odds and evens. So if you see a red number, that's odds. If you see a black number, that's evens. Okay, so as I look at this, Okay, what I'm thinking is that this next number is going to be red. So I think it's going to be high, 14 and 26. And over here, I think that this is going to be odds. So I think it's going to be a high odd number. So I'm looking at the 15, 17, 19, 21, 23, or the 25. You know what? Since today's the 17th, I think I'm going to go with the 17. And hopefully the 17 comes up. Okay, so I'm going to go with the Okay, so like I was saying, I'm going to go with the 1, 25, 33, 34, and the Powerball 41. I'm sorry, the 1, 25, 33, 34, 41, and the Powerball 17. Okay, so like Sherlock Holmes would say, it's a matter of deduction. So if, and that's a big word here, if these blocked out numbers don't come up, then these 5 highlighted numbers have to come up. Okay, so let's take a look at the odds. The odds to get the grand prize, all 5 white ball numbers and a red ball, the odds are 1 in 292 million that you're going to get it correct. Okay, my game is mostly geared up for the white ball numbers, and just to get the 5 white ball numbers, the odds are 1 in 11,688,000. Okay, so in other words, you can make nearly 12 million 5-number combinations out of 69 numbers. Okay, so I don't want to give any kind of illusions that this is going to be easy to win. Okay, so another great prize to win would be 4 white ball numbers and a red ball. That pays $50,000 plus the power play if you play it. And you can see the odds are just about 1 in a million. Okay, so I do like to play responsibly, so I do have a budget. Okay, I spend $3 on each Powerball drawing. Okay, there's 3 drawings a week. There's 52 weeks in a year. So if I play all 52 weeks, it will cost me $468. Okay, so in closing, I'd just like to thank you for watching. Again, you can support my channel, my game, through my Patreon page at patreon.com/Decoding the Powerball. And if you'd like to give me any feedback, then please email me at decodingpowerball@gmail.com. Again, that's decodingpowerball@gmail.com. Okay, and as always, with a $235 million on the line, I want to wish you the best of luck with your picks.